Hello, welcome back to Waffle Wisdom. I'm one of those people that really, and I mean really, enjoys writing notes home. I love to send the email to parents when their child has done something, who knows what. Maybe it's extraordinary academically. Maybe it's something that you say, wow, I didn't know teenagers could care for other people that way. Maybe it's an aspect of their caring personality. Maybe it's the joy that they bring to a particular conversation or discussion. Maybe it's something that got me to think. It got me to do a little bit of research on something that I didn't know. And I love taking time to write those emails. They don't have to be long. But I love to do that. And I want to tell you something. Parents love to get them. Now, as a parent myself, I know that. My wife and I have two children. They're grown now. But I know what it means to a parent to hear positive things about my child. And I'd love to do it, especially with students that I know maybe teachers haven't sent as many positive notes home about that particular child. All right, the student who's been a little bit more rebellious, a little bit more disruptive in the classroom, and that student does something that's really great and noteworthy. Man, I can't wait to send that message home to a parent. Like I say, I know what it means to parents, and then I know what it means to students as well. When parents share and say, "Guess what? Got a note from you, teacher." Oh no, you got. Man, let me explain. Let me explain. No, honey. Wait till you hear what your teacher had to say. And then the parent shares that moment, and it's sometimes a moment that maybe the student didn't even realize himself. Right? He did something, she did something, and they weren't even aware of it. But the teacher was. And the teacher took note of it and took time to communicate that with a parent. Now, I think this goes broadly beyond just connecting and sending positive notes home to our families, but also with fellow teachers, with administrators. And I really want to direct attention right now to teachers who are department chairs, administrators who have to do evaluations, anybody who has to do any sort of evaluation of someone in an educational setting. I had a department chair once. Her name is Tracy, and she is one of the finest education leaders I've ever met. In fact, I've often described her that way, and then I would quickly correct myself and say, take out the word education or educational. She simply is one of the finest leaders I've ever met. And one of the reasons I would say that is because when Tracy would come to evaluate teachers, it wasn't about a checklist. Right? She didn't come in with her checklist. Do I see this? Do I see that? Oh, I don't see this. Oh, I don't see that. Tracy was looking for ways to give credit to teachers. Now stop and think about that for just a moment. I think some of the best forms of assessment, when we assess what our children are learning, what our students are learning, is where we're looking for ways to give them credit. Now, obviously, there's some things that's just simply straight up and down right or it's wrong, right? Who was Julius Caesar? If you say the 13th president of the United States, that's wrong. Okay, it's just wrong. But in some assignments and some projects, what we can do is look for ways to give credit. And so many times I've seen students do things in a project, I think, you know what? That wasn't quite what I meant. It wasn't quite what I was going for in my directions, but I can see how the student interpreted my directions differently and gave something else that was valuable. So yes, I can give credit for that. Well, should it be that way as we are evaluating each other as fellow professionals? I've never understood the notion of obviously there is a certain hierarchy. I mean, there's the principal and assistant principals and teachers and so forth, but not in terms of superiority. Right? We're working shoulder to shoulder. One of my dear friends, an award-winning educator in Australia. Matter of fact, Kate is the one who gave a blurb for the book that ended up on the cover. Publisher chose this for the cover. And Kate would often talk about teaching shoulder to shoulder with her teacher. She's or has recently retired, was an elementary principal. So find ways to give your teachers credit. You know that's what you want them to do with their students. Folks, whether you are listening on YouTube or through your favorite podcast platform, we invite you to subscribe. Leave us a comment. We'd love to know what you're saying. Love to have you as a part of the conversation. As always, have a waffle day.